All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race 1 at COTA. Avery Walker and Harry Volsmere will start on the front row. Adam Barker, Mike Marshall on the second row. Simon Zierk, David Garman have the third row. Mark D'Antuma rounds out the field. Worth noting, with a 7-car field here this morning, we will see a full field invert going into race 2. Drivers getting on the grid. Mark D'Antuma was here last week. Had some struggles at Road America, hoping he can overcome them today. Everybody on the grid, the pace car begins to roll. Through that final sector, likely to see a little excitement coming to turn 1. This last sector of the track is known as being very, very slippery. Drivers have to be careful coming through here. And we'll likely see some issues there this morning. Two Porsches on the front row to start the morning. Remember, Porsches lack that straight line speed, but they do make up for it in the turns. Be interesting to see the balance between all the different cars here this morning as the pace car dives in. Through the final turn, Avery Walker in control. Looks like they have fired and are underway. The green flag is in the air at Circuit of the Americas. Whoa! Harry goes way wide in turn 1. Does recover but fell back to 4th on the start. Avery Walker out front, Adam Barker in 2nd. And a tight battle for 3rd back behind as they come through the S's. Looked like Harry just completely missed the braking point into turn 1. He'll have to fight his way back to the front, but remember, Harry was one of the fastest cars in practice. And he definitely figured out how to push that Porsche to the limit here. A tight battle for 3rd as Simon Zierk takes it from Mike Marshall out of the turn. While they battle back behind, Avery Walker already opening up a big lead over Adam Barker in 2nd. Remember, Adam Barker did say that Ford does not want to turn this morning. And it looks a little squirrely under power. Some of the drivers also saying that Ford still has a rear grip issue. Simon Ziert currently in third. Harry back up into fourth. Mike Marshall in fifth. Garmin in sixth. Mark D'Antuma in seventh. Through the final turn, Avery's going to lead lap one at COTA. And already opening up a 1 second lead. Barker makes up a little bit of ground on the straightaways. But as we come through the S's, Avery's going to have a big advantage. Simon still, oh, holy cow! Harry definitely got one of the turtles. He may have gotten a slowdown from that as well, as it appears he's off pace. Through the S's, he's back on the throttle. I do believe he got a slowdown on that. Looks like he has recovered as David Garmin has caught up to the battle. Harry in fourth, Mike Marshall in fifth. Whoa, Garmy goes to the inside. He is trying to set up a run on Marshall. Looks like Mike goes to the inside, forcing Garmin to the out. Harry is closing the gap on third place, Simon Ziert. The battle's still on for fifth. Marshall holds on to it for the moment. Garmin went a little bit wide. Harry continuing to close in on third. Marshall has a little bit of breathing room for the moment. Adam Barker has pulled closer to Avery at the moment. The big straightaways here definitely benefit that Ford, but the turns are definitely not in its favor. Now remember, going into race 2, we will see a full field invert. Right now, that'll put Mark D'Antuma on the pole, and he just set the fastest official lap of the morning. I say official because Avery Walker currently has Adam Barker currently has the fastest lap, but it is not scored as official if you have an off track. Avery starting to open the gap back up on Barker. Simon not close. He is losing ground and now has Harry back on his bumper. Harry attacks to the inside. And the Porsche pulls up into third. That Porsche definitely handles better on the tight turns here at COTA. Simon now in fourth, Mike Marshall in fifth. Mike has put some space between him and Garmin for the moment. Mike is also closing back up on Simon. Meanwhile, Simon doing his best to hang with Harry. Garmin has had a problem back behind. There's Gorman headed toward the final turn. And on the power, the back end just steps out. We mentioned that Ford definitely still has a rear grip issue. Avery has opened up almost a 2.5 second lead on Barker. Harry Volsmere about 4 seconds back in third, but Harry is attacking. Simon currently in fifth. Simon in fourth. Mike Marshall in fifth is closing in. David Garman lost ground a moment ago, as we saw back in sixth. Dan Tuma in seventh. Harry still attacking and inching closer and closer. Mike Marshall also getting closer and closer to fourth place. Simon Zierk. Simon's BMW definitely the most stable car here. But Mike Marshall has found a way to make that McLaren be faster than the BMW here today. Mike almost getting into Simon's back bumper as they come into the S's, as Harry Volsmere just set the fastest official lap. Meanwhile, out front, Avery continues to pull away the lead, now 2.8 seconds over second place. Adam Barker. Harry in third is starting to chip away at that gap. Simon in fourth, but Mike Marshall right on his bumper in fifth. Garman trying to close the gap back up after his incident in the final turn, but not making a lot of headway. This is definitely a tricky track to pass at, as Mike Marshall is discovering he's faster than Simon, but it's definitely a hard track to make a move on. Folks, don't forget, more racing to come today. 7:30 Eastern tonight, BRR Cup Series back on track, followed by the SMR X Series as well. A drag race into turn one. Mike Marshall gets there first. Simon tried to set up through the S's, but just can't get there. Mike shuts the door. Simon Zierk now in fifth. Mike Marshall now into fourth. Remember, the last two seasons, this group has separated into a pro and amateur division, Mike Marshall currently leads the amateur division in points, sitting 4th overall. But Mike Marshall likely just took 3rd from Mike Dolling, who's not here today. Also, obviously missing all 3 of the Team Gunther drivers this morning as well. Wow, Avery practically sliding through those turns. Simon Zierk trying to make the attack on Marshall, can't get there yet. Mike still holding on to 4th. Simon back to the inside. A tight battle between these two. Marshall holds on to it. Harry Volsmeer in 3rd, still about 4 seconds behind Barker. And Avery Walker's lead now about 3 seconds. Marshall still holding on to 4th. Simon still right there. And Avery Walker continuing to pull away, now a 3 1/4 second lead. Adam Barker still sitting in 2nd, Harry in 3rd. Mike Marshall still holding on to 4th, Simon Zierk in 5th. Hey, good morning, MP. How are you, buddy? Simon keeping right within striking distance. Oh, dang, MP, I'm sorry. Hopefully you get that result tomorrow. Avery's lead now almost 4 seconds over Barker. Harry in 3rd, still 4 seconds back. Mike Marshall in 5th, starting to open up a gap, or Mike Marshall in 4th, starting to open up a gap on Simon Zierk in 5th. David Gorman in 6th has started inching closer, but that incident on the second lap has been a big setback for him. Mark Dantuma back in 7th, just keeping a steady pace. Avery has dominated the race since the drop of the green. MP, that's pretty funny, bud. Now remember, Avery is dominating here, but in the next race with the full field invert, he will have to start in 7th. He'll have to fight his way through traffic. Avery definitely testing the track limits here. Adam Barker in second, 3.8 seconds back. Harry Volksmere in third, not gaining any more. Mike Marshall in fourth has now opened up a pretty good gap on Simon, almost 3 seconds. Garmin back in sixth, continuing to close. Remember, after that setback in the final turn, he was almost 10 seconds behind Simon, now 7 seconds back. Avery's lead all right at 4 seconds at the moment. Harry back in third, now less than 4 seconds behind Adam, but is likely not going to have the time to close the gap. Avery coming through the final sector, likely to see the white flag this time. Avery has definitely been dominant since the green flag dropped. Remember, he has driven this track multiple times in real life, giving him a very big advantage here this morning. And the white flag flies one more time around. Just under 3.5 miles around this track. Avery continuing to open up the gap on Barker. Looks like Barker has lost a little bit of pace. Now Harry just 3.3 seconds back. Mike Marshall having a great run this morning as well, currently in fourth. Simon Zierk in fifth. Avery's lead now 5.3 seconds. He is in another dimension this morning. Avery just putting on a clinic today. Adam Barker still holding on to second, but Harry getting closer and closer. And there goes Avery, the final 2 turns. Avery's gonna pull off a dominant win this morning. Out of the final turn, Avery wins at Circuit of the Americas. Adam Barker holds on to come home in second. Harry Volksmere in third. And let's see if we can get a word with our top 3. Harry, that was quite a comeback. I have to wonder if not for the mistake in turn one, if you'd have been up there battling with Avery.
I doubt it. But you never know.
Well,
No, I think Avery is too fast on average, so it's okay.
Well, still a podium finish and an awesome comeback as well. Quite a few good battles as you came back toward the front.
Yeah, it was nice, but tricky. So I hope I didn't touch Simon too much, but it's okay, I think.
You definitely had one heck of a run, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Adam Barker coming home in second. Adam, quite a run, but absolutely nothing for Avery this morning.
Yeah, Avery was super quick today in that Porsche. It really points where he wants to go. Luckily, we got a good start, and Harry went a little bit wide. So it meant that our Ford could just go straight through on the inside and try and challenge for the lead, but he was just too quick. Fortunately, Doug's quality Ford used autos has given us a pretty good car for the weekend. So hopefully we can do something in the second race. The Porsches do seem to struggle, I think, with full fuel, and the Ford seems to be a little bit more stable with the fuel in. So hopefully we'll be able to make some moves early on.
Well, hopefully, man, a great run, another podium this morning, and continuing to pull away in the points. Great job.
Yeah, just really good start of the race, and it's just you gotta thank Doug's Ford quality used autos for believing.
Oh my goodness! Great job.
Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. And finally our winner. Avery, great job with that win this morning. You do have a bit of an advantage here though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much, but yeah, it's my home track and been lucky enough to drive it before and got some like cool inside tips from my instructor that it's really hard to tell on the sim, but like once you're there, you kind of understand where there's little bits and pieces to get time. And I just really enjoy that track, and I think it frustrates a lot of other people, but I like it.
Well, I definitely have to say it does frustrate a lot of folks, but that advantage obviously paying off. Now you got to start in 7th though and come through the traffic.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It's been a long time since I've done any racing here because iRacing doesn't come here very often. No idea how easy or hard it'll be to pass people, but we're going to find out.
Man, a great start, a great win, and thank you for not letting the Ford of Adam Barker win.
Yeah, I'll do my best to do that again.
That would be greatly appreciated.
All right, sounds good.
Avery Walker wins race 1. Hey, good morning, Brandon. How are you? Looks like Adam Barker, the only one coming out to put in a practice lap. Does look like he was just getting a lap in to test the pit road entry. This pit road, fairly easy to get in, but we have seen drivers have problems getting onto pit road here in the past. Now going into race 2, the full field invert. So Avery Walker will start back in 7th. Harry Volsmere will also be starting back in 5th. He's come through the field once already today. Can he do it again? We're definitely in for quite a show here for race 2. Just a few seconds left to go, folks. Buckle up. It's time to go racing once again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race 2 from COTA. Mark Dantuma and David Gorman on the front row. Simon Zierk, Mike Marshall of the second row. Harry Volsmir and Adam Barker on the third row. Avery Walker will start tail end of the field. Everybody getting stacked up on the grid. And it looks like Mark Dantuma, who was supposed to start on the pole, has decided to start from pit road. That'll move Simon Zierk up to the pole position. Also making it a little bit easier for Harry Volsmir back in third. That also moves Avery Walker up right next to Adam Barker for the start. Heard Adam Barker mention the fact that the Porsches appear to struggle on full fuel. So we'll keep an eye on Harry Volsmir and Avery Walker to see if that plays out. Pace car will dive to pit road. Simon Zierk will control the start. And out of the final turn, Simon can fire. He does. They are away. The green flag flies once again at COTA. Harry Volsmir already up to the inside. Look at the move by Mike Marshall. Mike almost made it stick 3 wide. Backed out of it at the last second, coming through turn 1. Avery Walker and Adam Barker side by side into the S's. The Porsche definitely has an advantage here. Avery now into 5th. Mark Dantuma is on track. Mike Marshall, David Gorman battling for 3rd. Meanwhile, Harry on the attack for the lead. Harry cuts down to the inside, makes it stick, and Harry takes the lead. Down that long straightaway. Remember, the Porsche does struggle with straight line speed, but it didn't seem to matter this time. David Garman holding on to third, but Mike Marshall into the inside. Marshall trying to fight back, but looks like, oh, Garman's around. Marshall gets into him. Avery Walker and Adam Barker slip by. Let's take a look at that. Keep an eye on the Mustang of David Garman. We talked about it earlier. That car lacks rear grip. Marshall tried to cut to the inside. Taking a look down from the blimp. That was a close one for Avery, who was right there. Adam Barker also skates through. That definitely shakes up the running order for the moment. David Garman has retired. Mark Dantuma is going to pit road. Not sure why Dantuma went to pit road. He had not had any issues. Harry Volsmere now in the lead, pulls a 1.1 second gap on Simon. Avery Walker now up into third. And Avery is closing in. At the moment, Avery, the fastest car on track. Does not appear that full fuel load is having any impact on Avery. Mark Dantuma is back out on track. Harry Volsmere did just set the fastest lap so far. Simon Zierk in second, now has Avery right there. Adam Barker now 1.3 seconds back in fourth. Mike Marshall with that damaged front end back in fifth. And Mark Dantuma in sixth. Mike Marshall appears to be losing a lot of speed. I'm surprised he hasn't come in to get that fixed. Avery Walker just took second place from Simon Zierk. Simon trying to fight back on the straight. But it looks like Avery will hold on to second place. Avery 1.7 seconds behind Harry. Those two Porsches have been the two fastest cars all morning. Will that continue to be true as Simon trying to take second back? Avery holding him off for the moment. Adam Barker closing in. Oh, a little bobble for Adam Barker as he heads into the final turn. Avery lost a little bit of ground, battling with Simon. Now just over 2 seconds behind the leader. Simon Zierk in third, now trying to hold Barker off. Mark Dantuma has had a problem. He is going to pit road. Looks like Dantuma had just rolled off pit road, stops, and takes it back in. Have to wonder if Dantuma is having technical issues. Harry's lead now 1.7 seconds over Avery. Avery, though, definitely pushing it, trying to get the win. We have only had one sweep all season long. That was Giancarlo sweeping at Watkins Glen. Can Avery close the gap and win race 2 to pull off the sweep here? Avery has started chipping away at Harry's gap. Simon Zierk still holds on to third, but Barker all over him. Mike Marshall still holding on to fifth, a great points day, and Dantuma is out of the race officially. Avery continuing to chip away at the lead. It's now just 1 1/4 seconds. Adam Barker had a bit of an off track at the end of the long straight, trying to make the move on Simon. But Simon in that BMW continuing to hold him off. Harry's lead, meanwhile, continuing to shrink. Avery getting closer. Now less than a second. Meanwhile, Simon Zierk, Adam Barker still nose to tail, battling for third. Simon has been beating Adam through the S's, but on the long straightaways, Adam closes back up. However, we have seen repeatedly this morning that lack of rear grip that the Fords have, causing the drivers problems. Avery inching closer now as 3/4 of a second back. Avery definitely sends it deeper into that turn coming to the end of the straight. Harry, though, continuing to set a consistent pace. And it'll be one thing for Avery to get to his bumper. A whole different story. Trying to get past Harry. Two battles going on track right now. Simon Zierk, Adam Barker battling for third and fourth. Harry Volsmir and Avery Walker battling for first and second. Harry definitely seemed to pick it up this time through the S's. I did watch Harry during practice quite a bit. He was putting on a clinic. I kept expecting him to have a big wreck. It looked like he was pushing it right to the limit of grip. And at times it seemed he pushed it beyond, but when Harry gets in his Porsche, man, he is fast. He managed to get a better run out of the turn down the long straightaway. But then Avery gets the better run into the turn after the straightaway. Don't forget, they will have to make a fuel stop. Could also see some tire changes here. Track temperature currently 88 degrees, air temperature 74. So not exceedingly hot. The drivers may only do 2 tires or fuel only here. And Harry just set the fastest lap of the race. Avery just a few hundredths of a second off as the battle is on for third and fourth. Adam trying to attack as they go off into the S's. Simon backs out. Adam Barker now up into third place. But after the battle between these two, he's got a 7.5 second gap up to the lead battle. And at the moment, the leader, Harry Volsmir, is the fastest car on track. Despite the fact Harry's the fastest car on track at the moment, Avery staying within about 6 to 7 tenths of a second. Meanwhile, Adam in third, already starting to pull away from Simon, little by little. And it may just be me, but it does appear the BMW's rear wing actually appears to be higher this season. It's definitely the tallest wing on track this morning. But it does seem to be a little bit higher than it was last season. Avery still staying right in Harry's tire tracks. Adam Barker has already pulled a gap on Simon. And despite the damage, Mike Marshall is actually inching closer and closer to Simon's ear. Once he gets that car repaired, I have to wonder, can he close the gap? Avery definitely appears to be taking some of these turns a little bit wider. Can he set up for the run into turn one this time? Right on Harry's bumper, coming down the front stretch. Harry cuts it to the inside through turn one. Avery did not attempt the move this time. Harry and Avery continue to stay nose to tail. Adam Barker now opening up almost a 4-second lead on Simon. And Mike Marshall continuing to get closer and closer. Marshall should be within his fuel window. The sooner he ducks it to pit road, the better his chances are. Top two continue to battle as we're within the pit window. Could see any driver coming in at any time. Really surprised to not see Mike Marshall duck in and get the car fixed. Harry still has the lead, but man, Avery making him work for it. Adam Barker in third, now 9 seconds behind the lead battle. He has not gained any ground on the top two. Simon currently in fourth, as Mike Marshall now less than 6 seconds behind. Despite that damage to the McLaren, Mike is still flying around this track. Avery tried to set up for the pass there. Avery maybe just trying to force Harry to make a mistake, but Harry has already made his one mistake for today. I don't know if Avery can make him do another. Hey, good morning, Lady Mike. Looking back on Mike Marshall, who continues, despite the significant damage on the front of that McLaren, continuing to get closer and closer to Simon Zierk, now just 4 1/4 seconds back. At the halfway point, we could see drivers on pit road this time. Pit strategy this morning could definitely be interesting with the track not being extremely hot. A lot of these drivers likely to take fuel only. A few of them could very well take front tires. I doubt we see any 4-tire changes. Neither of the top two come to pit road this time. Adam Barker continuing to stay out. Simon Zierk continues to as well. Surprisingly, Mike Marshall still has not been in. He continues to get closer and closer to Simon. Meanwhile, the top two continue to just go around nose to tail. Avery continuing to wait for Harry to make a mistake. Harry has not made one yet. Adam Barker kind of in no man's land since he took third place. He's 10 seconds ahead of Simon Zierk and almost 10 seconds behind that lead battle. Meanwhile, Mike Marshall continuing to get closer and closer to Simon. He's now just about 2.5 seconds back. It's one heck of a run this morning for Mike Marshall. No pit stops yet. Simon and Mike both continue to stay out. It is a big surprise that Mike Marshall has not been in yet. But maybe that car is handling really good without the front clip. He does continue to get closer and closer to Simon. Harry has put a little breathing room between him and Avery. Avery now 1.5 seconds behind. This is actually the first time Avery has fallen back since he caught Harry. Did he lose momentum, or is this a strategy move? He could have taken a slow lap trying to cool the tires down for another attack. The top two both go by pit road again. And Barker will be the first one to pit road. Simon Zierk stays out. Mike Marshall also stays out. I am still very shocked that Marshall continues to stay out. Barker completes his pit stop, rolls back out. Very quick pit stop. I do not know if he took tires though. Harry, for the first time in quite a while, starting to pull away again from Avery. And Mike Marshall has lost a little momentum. He's now 3.25 seconds behind Simon. It closed within 2.5 seconds. It does appear Marshall is closing back in, but he definitely needs to get that front clip fixed soon. The two Porsches continue to drive past pit road entry. Adam Barker, the only driver, has completed his stop, now back in 5th. Mike Marshall in 4th, Simon Zierk. Simon is giving up 3rd, he is in. Oh, he missed the entry. Wow, Simon's pit road entry did not go well. Will Simon be taking tires here? The car is up. He will take tires. Harry's lead holding at about 1.25 seconds over Avery. Mike Marshall now in 3rd, Adam Barker in 4th, Simon off pit road in 5th. Harry's lead holds at about 1.6 seconds. Top 3 have not been to pit road yet. Harry is bringing it in, as is Avery. Likely expecting Mike Marshall to come in and complete the cycle of stops. Mike Marshall definitely having a great race this morning. He is on his way in. Both Porsches roll out of pit road together. We know Mike Marshall will get the car repaired finally. And he's taking tires. Have to wonder, we saw Mike Marshall reeling Simon Zierk in while he had significant damage. How much faster will Marshall be now? And it looks like Mike's going to come off pit road ahead of Simon. Mike Marshall coming off pit road in 4th. About 14 minutes left to go. Top 2 still within a second. Adam Barker 10.5 seconds back, but has a 19-second lead on 4th place, Mike Marshall. Mike coming off pit road ahead of Simon this time. Marshall definitely having some great runs this season. A couple of podium finishes and his best season so far. Avery inching closer to the leader once again. Avery staying within striking distance, getting closer. We've seen him get to Harry. He's been right on Harry's bumper for a large portion of this race, but hasn't been able to make the move for the lead yet. Harry is definitely faster getting onto the long straight. Avery has consistently been faster getting to the end. Adam Barker holding on back in third. Mike Marshall still last fourth. Simon Zierk now losing ground to Marshall in fifth. Mark Dantuma and David Garman both out of the race early due to Ford-related incidents. Mike Marshall appears to be a little bit faster now that he's got that front clip fixed. Having all his aero in place, definitely making a difference. He continues to pull a gap on Simon. A lot of back and forth between the top two. Harry has definitely been faster through the first few sectors. Avery Walker definitely faster through the final sectors. Harry's lead fluctuates depending on where they are on track between 1 and 1.5 seconds. Adam Barker secure in third at the moment. Just needs to make no mistakes here. He will extend his points lead this morning. Simon Zierk comes into this morning second in points. But Mike Marshall came into the morning fourth in points, and as they run now, he'll be in third in points after today, and likely closing up quite a bit of the gap to second place. Harry Volsmir comes into this morning fifth in points. He is definitely having a great morning as well. Harry has started to extend his lead. It's the first time in quite a bit. His lead now over 2 seconds. Not a lot of time left for Avery. Remember, Avery dominated race 1 here. But since the start of race 2, Harry Volsmir has been the fastest car on track. Mike Marshall in fourth is pulled away from Simon in fifth. Meanwhile, Adam Barker sits safely in third, just needs to keep turning laps and stay out of trouble. The real question now, will Avery have the speed and the time to get back up and challenge Harry? Just 5.5 minutes, only a couple of laps left to go. Harry is extending his lead at the moment. Despite the fact Avery has the home track advantage here, Harry continues to pull away late in this one. Avery in second, appears to have resigned himself to second. He is now 2.7 seconds back and not gaining. Harry continuing to pull away late in the race. Mike Marshall back in fourth has now put a 2.5 second gap on Simon Zierk in fifth. Meanwhile, third place, Adam Barker just out on a Sunday cruise. Well, in race 1, it did look like Avery was going to be a dominant force here. He definitely dominated race 1, but in race 2, he has had nothing for Harry. Harry pulled off the win in race 1 at Algarve. Also pulled off the win in race 2 last week at Road America. And it looks like Harry is headed toward his 3rd win of the season. Simon Zierk has closed the gap just a little bit on Mike Marshall. He's now just 1.9 seconds back. Will Simon have enough to reel him in? Meanwhile, Harry extending his lead now to 3 1/4 seconds over Avery. Adam back in 3rd, Mike Marshall in 4th. Simon Zierk in 5th is closing in on Marshall once again. Avery Walker has had a problem. Avery trying to close the gap on Harry. A little too deep. He drifts it through the turn, quickly recovers, but loses any hope of the win. Avery has come to pit road. That's unexpected. The final lap for Harry Volsmeer. Now Adam Barker has taken 2nd. Avery has gone to 3rd. I have to think Avery potentially just burned up the tires. Harry Volsmeer's lead now 15.9 seconds over Adam Barker. Avery in 3rd, about 4.5 seconds behind Adam. Mike Marshall in 4th, Simon Zierk in 5th, has closed right back up on Marshall. The final laps have definitely cranked up the heat. Marshall opens the gap back up on the long straightaway. As here comes Harry Volsmeer through the final 2 turns. He took him to school this morning. Harry Volsmeer dominates and wins race 2 at COTA. Adam Barker will bring it home in second. And Avery Walker drops to third late in the race. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Avery. Avery, what happened there late in the race?
The sound of freedom from that beautiful Mustang just overpowered me. Made me do a lot of off tracks, which gave me a drive-through penalty, but I'm just happy because I got to get the Doug used quality Ford Mustang onto second place.
You people need help.
Just so happy for Adam and that Mustang.
Well, great job at coming home in third. Congratulations, and yeah, awesome run this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Just, again, happy that the Mustang is up there because the Mustang was really fast, and I just love Mustangs.
You really need help, buddy.
All right, see you, Doug.
Adam Barker comes home in second. Adam, you come home in second again. A pretty good morning.
Yeah, it was an unexpected second there. I would resign myself to third, and then Avery was making a couple of mistakes, so got him called into the pit lane. Yeah, really good race. The Doug used quality auto Ford. Sorry, the Doug's used Ford autos as a Mustang was doing really well there. So it was really put me in a good spot, and then just needed to execute it. But the 2 Porsches were well too quick for me.
Well, definitely too quick for a Ford, but man, great job this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully, me and Doug can bring something that's fighting for the lead next week.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And finally, our winner, Harry Volsmeer. Harry, that was a really impressive win. Honestly thought Avery was going to get by you a couple of times, but you outdid him all over the place.
Well, I expected the same, and in the end he didn't come, so, well, what can you say?
I have to say one thing I noticed, you got onto that long straightaway way better than he did, and that really paid off.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I saw also on the numbers, but, well, that's okay, huh?
Your third win of the season, man. Congratulations, an awesome morning.
Thank you.
Harry Volsmeer gets the win. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, more racing tonight, 7:30 Eastern, BRR Cup Series and SMRX Series. We'll see you then. Have a great day, everybody.